Yo guys, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and we're actually up a bunch of subscribers, so let me actually update this. I think we're up to 2,560, so solid GM level. And yeah, I think, okay, so should I set a timer? Basically, I've done a lot of chess today. I just came back from a league match where we won the match 4.5, 3.5. And I managed to win both my games, so that was pretty hype. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to train all 42 minutes today. Basically, I've got a huge number of things to do tomorrow. So I'm basically going to be working all day. So I can't stay up too late. But what I wanted to do is basically have a look at my two classical games that I played and see if I can gain anything from it. And they're so satisfying. Like, both of them were just slow grinds and just grinded my 2000 rated opponent down. So satisfying. So, yep. Let's have a look. We'll just put it here. I need to rename this because it's not just Lichess Classical anymore. So I'll put Syston Rapid 1. So we'll have a look at my game with the black pieces first, and then we'll swap to the white. So yeah, how are people doing? Welcome Skivvy Chess. I never knew this Gen Z term Skivvy actually meant bad. Which just makes it even better. I can't afford your course, I'm broke. Well, if only you were playing in Journey to Master, because I did agree that the player who wins Journey to Master will get a free copy of my course. So yeah. But yeah, so I'm sorry. You'll have to start busking on the street. Maybe pull up a chessboard on the streets of Leicester and be like, £1 to play. Maybe you could do that, right? £1 to play, and if you lose, you have to give them £3 or something like this, and then make enough money to buy the course. I don't know how much it's gonna be though. Welcome, Labib. Glad to see you on the stream. What would you like me to call you? Labib, Amir, Salimi. What's the best? Waiting for a train to Canterbury. Oh, that is cast. Oh dear. Wiley Cup. Yes, I believe so. And welcome, Arab. Welcome to the stream. I quit Racing Kings, Arab. Best decision ever. Finally. Honestly, about time. Okay, let's have a look. So, I played c6, right? And my opponent is like looking so smug. He's like so happy. And he slams out knight c3. And then I played g6. And then he's like depressed. Which is exactly what, chess is about, right? Like just, making your opponent not able to get their prep that we spent like 100 hours like preparing. And yeah, we get this position. Now, my opponent played bishop d3 here. I actually don't know what is objectively the best move. Bishop g4 is actually most preferred and also objectively best. How interesting. Yeah, I guess with the knight on c3, it does make a lot of sense. Yeah, I don't really know why I didn't play this move, because actually when my opponent plays e5 here, I'm playing bishop g4. So what was the reason? Maybe I wasn't so sure how I deal with this like exchange variation. Like, regardless of what the engine says, am I really comfortable here? Okay, I can play e6. The thing is, I don't like. I found that I'm not the biggest fan of exchanging my bishop for knight in this exchange Caro-Kann type position. But it's probably fine. It's probably fine. Okay, good to see that that's actually equal. Very interesting. But yeah, what I did was I took, and my opponent took with the bishop to my surprise, and they let me just play knight f6. And I thought they were going to move the bishop back, but they just kept on developing. So I took the bishop pair. Thank you very much. And yeah, this moment he played c3. Oh no, it's my turn to move. So what? Takes on e4. I played knight d7. Yeah, and he played c3 here, and I was just a bit hesitant whether I wanted to castle straight away, just in case he like goes for something like this and just starts like trying to kill me on the king side. And maybe it's completely fine. Maybe it's just gonna be a race, and maybe this pawn is like just as weak as like g6. But I wanted to play this structure because I've got a lot of experience now of this type of position. I had that game against Rohan Pal in the English Championships. So, yeah. Oh, you're playing Loughborough in the Wily? Wait, you're gonna be playing me then? Maybe that would be cool. Ooh, but what dates? What date is the match? I don't know if I'll be around. I hope so. Yeah, dude, the Gen Z stuff, I feel like I became a grumpy old man after 2020. I don't understand any new internet culture. You know, Labib, what you need to get into if you want to, get good with your Gen Z terms, you need to befriend a child. So, Caius is my go-to for these Gen Z terms. And also, if you just watch a bunch of brain rot Instagram reels, then you also get a lot of these Gen Z terms. So, I'm not sure I should really recommend it, but you know that is the way to stay with the times. Labib is perfect. Okay, I will go Labib, and then if you correct me to Labib, then I will change to Labib. But I'll stick with Labib. Welcome, Faz. Welcome to the stream. Tiring, but I made it eventually. Nice. Michael, which board will you play? I'm not going to reveal. I'm not going to reveal. Although if you're smart, you can probably work it out. But okay, e takes f6 is what I played. Castles. And castles, he went h3. And I went bishop e6, queen d2. And this guy, like he was blitzing out the moves. I mean, I guess he wanted to get me under some time pressure, right? Like I was writing down the moves like a noob in Rapid. But I don't know, I wanted to learn from the game, right? So I played rook e8. I'm quite happy with this. I wasn't sure if I even cared, like if he traded bishops, but I just thought why not stay a bit more flexible? So I have the option to play this if I want to, right? So just giving yourself a bit more options and like, you know, this is a useful move anyway. What actually happens if they go bishop h6? Yeah, I don't care. I don't need to play this. But it's fine. It's fine. And I mean, Engine is going to say everything is basically the same eval, probably. Like, this is just like a very static kind of equal position. And here, I wasn't sure if a5 was good in the sense that I am fixing my pawn on a dark square and he's got a dark square bishop, but ultimately, I learned this recently, actually, in a nice endgame camp by Dejan Boykov, this grandmaster. And he made a very good point, which I've never realized before. But when you're playing bishop pair against knight and bishop, you actually have an advantage on one of the color of squares, right? Basically, white has 1.5 control over the dark squares and 0.5 control over the light squares, where you've got like 1 over the dark squares and 1 over the light squares, like in terms of ratios, right? So what that means is that this bishop is actually dominant to white's knight and bishop because we've got like 1 lot of control. They've only got half, right? Because the knight jumps on both color squares, like one at a time, right? So basically, yeah, I've got a domination on the light squares, which means yeah, this is just double-edged, right? Because, yeah, my pawn is fixed on the dark squares, where he's got 1.5, but his white pawn is fixed on the light square, which I've got 1 against half, right? So this is just interesting, I think. And interesting that this is actually not a good move. So, yeah, let me just input all these moves, and then I might do another comb over to see what was actually played. So, knight h2. And then I played a4. I wanted to gain the space on the king side, and you're gonna see it played such a nice role in this game. I didn't write down all the moves, like I stopped at 5 minutes because, you know, I didn't want to lose. Played h5, f3. I swear to God, Gergenitzer is cracked. Gergenitzer is such a strong opening. Knight f1, bishop f8, bishop f2, king g7, bishop g3, queen d7, rook e2. I'll look at these moves in just a second, and then we will discuss. So this is where I got up to. You know what, guys? I'm actually going to send a text to someone who is actually a grandmaster who I've befriended recently, and see if he wants to join the stream. I actually don't know if he knows that I stream daily, so I'm gonna share the stream with him, and we'll see if he actually joins in chat, because he really likes this Garganitsa idea. So maybe he'll just join, and that'll be really cool, right? To have a GM discussing. Let me just quickly type this. Okay. Okay, cool. So, you know, if a GM joins the chat, that's going to be pretty hype. But we'll just have to see. You played the Tartakow, let's go. Nah. This is a Garganitsa. This is a Garganitsa line that, okay, this H3 move is the most common way to reach this type of position. And yeah, this is the starting position. I guess it's got some resemblance to Tartakow, but I don't like playing it with like some weird, like, you know, kingside attack with H4. I just like to grind my opponent out. So yeah, my opponent gave me the bishop pair for free, which I don't really believe in. Okay, let's see what people are saying. Michael, when are you answering my Discord messages? So sorry, I'm so sorry. When I have the time. Like, I swear, I'm literally... I have so much on my to-do list right now with the build-up to the release of C3 Venom, and I just don't have the time. I really just don't have the time. So I will get back to you at some point. You'll just have to bear with. I mean, very soon, I'm taking a short holiday to France, and then I'll probably have a lot of time just on travels and stuff to, like, catch up with people. What are people saying? Also, yeah, welcome Jan to the stream. Okay, yeah. So let's try and learn from this. So yeah, I just developed all my pieces, and I'd like to explain to you how this game actually finished. Let me get to this final position and explain. So what ended up happening was after Rook D8, did he take my bishop? I don't remember the exact moves. Yeah, I think he took, and then he was a bit worried of C5, which I was never going to play, and he played Queen C1. And basically, you might ask, like, how are you going to grind out this position? And what ended up happening was I ended up at some point playing the move G5. Like, this was way later. This was way later. I shuffled for a really long time. Like, I was bringing my rooks here, which basically did nothing. I had my rooks here, and then I brought my rooks all the way back. Like, I was really just like, you know, just taking my complete time with this game. And at some point, when we were both down to like maybe like a minute or 2 minutes each, I ended up playing for this G5 break, and he met it with G4. Oh, and Engine does not like that at all, and Engine does not like this either. Interesting. And I played with King G6 here. But was this exactly the position where this stuff happened? I actually don't know. But I think the point being was that I ended up getting... What even happened? I don't quite remember. Let me just shuffle a bit. So I ended up getting this pawn structure, where basically everything on the board came off. Something is slightly wrong here. Something is slightly wrong. I think, I know what happened. The knight came here. What actually happened? I don't remember. Yo, okay, welcome Damien to the stream. I was playing a Garganitsa, so I thought I'd just drop you a message. But welcome. G4 is bang out of order. Oh, okay. Thank God you said G4, not G5. But yeah, basically, I don't remember. I don't remember what happened. But I'm trying to remind myself where the pawns were. I'm pretty sure h3, h3, a3. Yeah, I made a note of the final pawn structure. I think basically all of these pieces traded. I traded down into this pawn endgame. And it was really, really nice because I'd kind of seen that I had this like slight edge here. But I had to be ever so careful. It was something like this. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, and I think, yeah, this was the position with black to play. Of course, with no rook. Okay, I'll turn off the engine here. And yeah, I played this move. And then my opponent played here. So black to play. You've got like 20 seconds on the clock. What would you do? What would you play? I was really proud of this decision because it's not an easy decision to make. Like there are a few candidate moves. So I'll give you guys like 30 seconds to think. And then what would you play? Arab left and a GM enters the chat. Exactly. Honestly, like yesterday's stream, like I was actually cracked. Like my tactics were so good, and Arab wasn't on the stream. I don't know what that says. I don't know what that says. But yeah, let's have some answers, guys. I'm gonna get some water. By the time I come back, I want answers. What are people playing here? So is black to play? Okay, let's see. So we've got King B3 from Jan, King Inside from Skibidi, so King B3. Sorry, it's so tempting to say Skibidi stuff, sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay, King B3, F6 maybe from Frizz, King B3 and Ignore. Okay, right. So for me, I had 3 candidate moves here, right? I had F6, King B3 and G4, right? And I only had like maybe like 20, 30 seconds. I had 10-second increments, so I wasn't too worried. But I wanted to make the right call. And in this position, of course, like the first one to calculate, I believe, is King B3. Okay, maybe you can start with G4 if you think it's really critical, but as soon as you see this and see that, okay, they actually have the chance to make a passer, it feels a bit risky, right? So I don't really want to spend like big amounts of time calculating this. Like I think I dismissed this pretty quick. I don't know what order I calculated it. But of course, King B3 is the move to kind of understand first. But the thing is, it enters a race, right? Like, when you go King B3, they can take, you go take, and you move out the way. And I think in my head when I was calculating, I put my king on B3, and actually this would be really bad, right? Because they can sometimes queen with check. So I guess the king would need to go on B2. So let's have a look at this again. This takes king here, takes king here, king B2, here, push, here, push, here. And okay, I'm probably winning this. But to me, it felt like this plan was just kind of close, right? It was a bit close. But what I realized was actually I don't need to be precise with this calculation at all because f6 is just so much stronger. Because f6 here, okay, if they go like if they take and then go for this pawn, for them to actually win this and then push this pawn, okay, they have like this whole extra pawn, like I lose this h pawn. But it's not about the number of pawns, it's about the tempo, right? The number of tempi. So I just played f6 here, and then it was just completely winning. I can't remember how the game went. Because at the same time, like he can't ever take this pawn because then I take, right? And then I start running with this pawn. So he has to take here. And then I just enter. And I think he ended up resigning, like before this even started. I think he just resigned at this point. But it was just such a nice game because in this like setup, yeah, okay, probably this G4, okay, this wasn't played like right now, but yeah, this was just like so bad because I've been I don't know if you guys remembered, but I watched this course by David Howe and David Howe and Magnus, right, on like Grind Like a GM. And there's always this theme of like basically trying to like, you know, fix the pawn structure in a favorable way. When he traded into that pawn endgame, I was like, yo, I'm so winning this position. So yeah, this was super nice. I'm gonna put on a hoodie. But yeah, I don't think there's much to learn from his game, to be honest. I mean, I think f6 was just really clutch. I mean, I'll check the engine and see if like king b3 is also just as winning. It probably is, but yeah. Would have been curious to hear what Damien would have played. Would he have played f6 or king b3? I mean, both are probably just winning, right? Both are probably just winning. Yeah, this was the nice thing as well. They can't defend passively because we've got this majority on the king side, right? And then you can just play f5. And because these pawns are slightly further advanced, I'm gonna queen first, and I'm gonna queen with check as well. So this is just completely over. But yeah, I guess king b3 is actually even more winning. Wow. But okay, if both are winning, then both are winning, right? Oh wait, wasn't it? No, it was f4 here, right? f4, and then which one to go for? Okay, so both as strong as each other. I guess like the engine just doesn't care. The engine doesn't care. Oh, and wow, even king b3 is fine. I guess you're not in time to check because the king blocks the path, right? So it's probably just no difference. Yeah. Interesting stuff. Interesting. But yeah, I don't know if there were any. I mean, the thing is, I think the opening I played it fine. Maybe I think this a5 a4 was good, and I think probably I started to make inaccuracies later in the game. I wonder like about this bishop d6. Like, okay, engine is actually saying this bishop d6 is maybe a wrong trade, but I didn't see like how my bishop was being useful here. Like, what plan am I supposed to go for? Because actually, I feel like this bishop's very strong. Like, if I wanted to push on the queen side or something, this bishop is controlling b8. So to me, it made perfect sense. But I don't know if any of you guys think you would like why is bishop d6 not so good? And even c5 here, that's wild to me. Because it felt to me like if I trade off these dark squared bishops, I felt like my bishop was just stronger than the knight. Like the knight can get to e3, where it seems pretty good, and my bishop seems to just dominate the knight. So I didn't mind this. But yeah, what is the engine's plan here? Okay, I'm glad to hear Damien Lemmel said f6. Sweet, let's go. Chess Tiger hoodie, indeed. This is the lucky hoodie. Play like a tiger. Actually, Damien, have you heard of the book Chess for Tigers? Chess for Tigers. It's an absolute classic in British chess lore. Absolutely incredible book. Absolutely incredible book. Forgetting Magnus was on the course. I know, that's actually despicable. Yeah, David, I'm that relatively unknown Norwegian dude. Exactly. Okay, yeah. I'd love to understand this position. Like, what is the right plan here? I mean, I also considered like whether trying to push on the king side might be a plan, but not with my king here. It felt way too risky. But yeah, it seems like it wants c5, b5, but then rook a d8, putting the rook into the center. So is it actually central play here? If we go c5, the reason why I didn't play c5 is because I was scared of him just taking. The engine absolutely hates this. What if we just like play king h1? Maybe bishop f2 is better, but what if king h1? Why is this so bad? Because I thought that this 3 versus 2. Like, I thought if I'm going to play 3 versus 2, then I want the pawn to still be on a5 and play for b4, like in this typical minority attack plan. But I didn't even believe in the minority attack in these positions because I was like, okay, I've got this 4 versus 3 where I've got no majority. And I felt like maybe it's not enough. That was my thinking. I thought with the pawn on a4, then this doesn't make sense. Like, I guess from the standpoint that I'm opening the game for my bishop pair, maybe this is like principally strong, but I just didn't understand why removing these pawns is such a big deal. Okay, so Faz says f6 is equally as good, but if you're lazy or low on time to calculate tempo by tempo, then king b3 seems simplest. Interesting. I mean, for me, it was the opposite way round. I felt like f6 was just a safe move. That means I'm many tempo ahead and not going to lose. And king b3 was like the riskier move. That felt like... But yeah, I mean, okay. Both are winning, so who am I to say? But yeah, maybe opening the position up and keeping two bishops might be potential tactics later on. Interesting. I've heard of it, yeah. British chess law, yes. Yes. Yeah, I've got a tiger on the back of his hoodie, and like, yeah, gotta play like a tiger. This is the point of the book. Play to win, not play to, I don't know, for any other reason. Play to win. Queen c6, queen b5. What is queen b5 even doing? I mean, I looked at these kind of ideas when trying to go for this pawn. I didn't really see it. Let's say rook ae1. That seems like a very reasonable move. Rook e d8. Let's say, I was going to say queen c2, but what, I'm already blundering some tactics here. Bishop c4. Oh my god, the rooks are like completely stuck? Are you kidding me? And then you got bishop d3. Wow. Okay, so this is my problem, right? Because tactically, I'm not as strong, I feel like. So, but I guess, you know, I'd find this, right? Like if the position came about. So I guess this is the point, right? You like there's this phrase, tactics favor the side that is positionally stronger, right? So if you just trust the principles, you open the position because you've got the bishop pair. The tactics should come to you. And okay, I would spot this, right? But yeah, that's really wild to me because from a positional standpoint, like, you know, playing for this pawn structure and removing these pawns, it didn't feel right to me. But I guess from an even more positional standpoint with the bishop pair, then I guess it makes some sense. So that's very interesting. Yeah. So maybe for that reason, maybe trading is wrong. But actually from a grinding point of view, I actually like this. I actually really like this. Like, not trying to win the game immediately with some tactics. But, oh, I really tortured him. Like, I put my rooks, like, push freshing into b file, and then I came back. And then at some point when we're both low on time, I played this very, very committal g5. But what? I think maybe, did he have the pawn on f4 already? No, he didn't. No, he had it like this, and he played g4. Yeah. But then it was just, yeah, it was really nice. I played like this. Yeah, I know. It was a nice game. So, okay, we learned something new about that little positional nuance there. And, okay, we also got reassurance that, yeah, his opening was just garbage, giving me the bishop pair for no reason. And then we get this pawn structure, which I don't want to give to the Tartakower, but probably that's the best way to describe it, right? This Tartakower pawn structure. Okay, you gotta go, Damien. No worries. See you around. And, yes, toodle pip. Wow, haven't heard that phrase in a while. Okay, thanks for joining. British people make up words? Yeah. Mike, if you give me a C3 course, I'll play it for every game at the use and EOJCAs. Ooh. That's an interesting bet. I'll have to consider it. Safsar, when is your birthday? Like, could you not get it for a birthday present? Like, come on. Or maybe if you do well in your exams or something like this, right? Get a C3 Venom course from your parents. I feel like that's legit. Okay, let's take a look at C3. Okay, so yeah, I then played the same opponent with the white pieces, right? So let's have a quick look at this. Oh yeah, let's take a look at this. So okay, so I played c3, of course, and you know, my opponent made a groan, which is a good sign already. It was Graham Sharp. Graham Sharp was my opponent, and I did not understand his style of play at all. It was just like he just basically let me grind him down. Like that's literally it. 26th of May. Just say like a late birthday present. Like just you know, just try hustle. Do I want a game? No, I want to go to sleep, actually. But I should probably analyze these games, right? Gotta learn from our chess. So, basically, my opponent, having just got grinded down with the black pieces, decides, okay, I'm just gonna copy you, and this is obviously gonna be a draw, because, you know, we're just copying the kitty cat, as Jan would say. And basically, yeah, we get to this symmetrical position, and in this position, My opponent plays e6, like every other player, because they want to get an exactly equal position, and they're going to draw. So, for the c3 Venom skeptics, what would you play here for white? And this is the point. If you know your theory, it doesn't matter if this position is objectively equal. I'm going to outplay you. So, apparently from other Wigs and guys, Graham seems the most difficult to beat. Very resourceful player. Not tonight anyway. Not against c3 Venom. I think the guy has a lot of like decent theory, but he hasn't prepped c3, so what to do? £700 on chess was a late birthday present? What are you talking about? I didn't find him that cocky. Maybe a tiny bit, but not that much. c4 seems good, maybe. So I like Frizz the way you're thinking, like trying to break the symmetry, right? But in this position, I can actually do it with knight h4. And that's why it's very important you study the course, because then you realize that you play knight d2 first to cover the e4 square, and then you can play knight h4. So you played bishop g6, I took, and the point being is that I don't just play bishop e2 where they can play knight h5, and then, you know, I even lose a rook. I think I've even done this before, like back in the day. Okay, nice, Jan. Good spot. I just play h3, of course. And now we've got an imbalance. And then he makes it even worse by taking on b3. Like now this is when Michael cooks. This is when I have a very slight advantage, and I'm just gonna grind this fellow out. So a6, they always play a6. I play b4. He plays rook c8. We can put on engine and see. Look, imagine you play an equal position, and already a few moves later you have the advantage. Why is this? Because you understand the position. You know how to play the position. So I don't want to hear any more hate about 1c3, especially from Yusuf Zara. Just learn how to play it, and yeah, you'll beat everyone. So yeah, my opponent makes a slight inaccuracy, and we keep this. Yeah, we keep this bishop pair. I get him b4. And I've got a lot of experience of this position. My opponent probably doesn't have much. So, at this moment, rook c8. Knight b3 immediately. Okay, I played bishop e2. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. Knight e4. And here I rushed. And I was quite annoyed by rushing at this moment. Because I just rushed with knight b3 and I missed his point. His point was to play bishop d6. And this is a really annoying move to basically remove my bishop pair. So in this position, had I just taken, which was also my consideration, I was just a little bit worried of maybe black having this pawn mass. That was my concern. But here, f3, wow, f3 I would not have considered f3. So maybe my call to not play this was fine, because I was not considering f3. What is f3? So if they take, I take with the bishop, and I'm somehow just much better here. I guess I keep the bishop pair, and I'm, again, just as Damien said, opening up the position, right? It's Jan calling the kitty cat? No, I'm talking about what you were saying on Discord, right? You were saying, like, why would you play c3? Like, you're just playing as black, like... What is the advantage of c3 instead of 1d4? Does it induce e5? Very good question, Frizz. And actually, I will refer to a forum post. Can I find forum posts? Because I wrote a really good answer to this. C3 Venom. Let's see if this comes up. Oh god. Yeah, how do we... Wait. How do I get to this? Probably... Okay, I could just answer the question, right? But... Okay. Oh, go to discussion. That's what I want. Okay. Oh, someone's actually talking about C3 Venom here? Writing 1.c3? What is going on with this? Anyway, I have no idea. Anyway, let me answer your question. So the point of playing 1c3 instead of 1d4, because you could say, right, like if d5, you could just play c3 and it's the same, right? But the idea of c3 is you're being a bit more tricky, right? Because your opponent doesn't know like what exactly you're doing. Maybe you're gonna play with e4, maybe you're gonna play with knight to 3 and like g3 setups, right? It's a bit ambiguous. So you might catch a few players who would not typically play d5, playing d5 against your 1c3. You also bait this very, very good reverse Caro-Kann. Like it's just I personally I feel like it's a really good option. And yeah, I think with c3, you just stay a bit more flexible as well. Like with let's say the c5 move, you may be able to throw in some Alapin if you happen to play Alapin. I had a couple other really good reasons, like because this came up in the beta tester forum chat. I wish I could find it. I wish I could find this post because I wrote I wrote a perfect answer to this question, Frizz. I wish I could find it. Let me see if I can search in the general discussions. I don't think. Oh, maybe I can. 1c3. Let's see if I can find it. If I can't, we'll just get back to the game. Okay, I guess it was a really long time ago. This post. What are the other reasons? I had some really good reasons. Anyway, let's go back. I think if you sent Richard Report a copy of C3 Venom, we will see Ding play it in the World Championship in November. Welcome, Josh, to the stream. And yes, that would be amazing. Honestly, if any strong player ever plays 1c3 based on my course, I would actually be ecstatic. That would be wonderful. But I'm really surprised to see this f3 move. I would not play this, but I think it comes back to what Damien was saying about simply open up the position and then see. Like the tactics will come to you. You've got the bishop pair, open up the position, and it will be fine. You can see that like white is playing with e4, right? They're really trying to open up the game. So yeah, very interesting. But instead, I played knight b3. I missed that they had bishop d6. And then, I took. Yeah, I was contemplating whether I could get away with c5 and basically allow for this pawn structure. And apparently I can, right? Apparently I can. I just didn't know if I really had enough here, but apparently I can. Like, what if they just defend passively? Oh, then I take on e4. And probably that is a nicer version because you see, like, black's kingside pawns, they can't really advance as well because of this f4 pawn, right? I feel like this f4 pawn is very strong. So it makes sense why this is better. I feel like this kind of position is definitely grindable, but let me show you how I grinded him out. So I played knight a5 here. I was a bit annoyed how he got a strong knight to d6. But yeah, you see players like, I mean, this is what it comes down to, right? People are just bad at chess. So you don't have to be so ambitious in the opening. You don't have to play like Stockfish's like best moves. People will make mistakes themselves. My guy played b6 here. Like literally, why would you make this a weakness? It's crazy to me. It's crazy. Guy plays b6. I go back. He plays knight c4. Wait, this can't be the position. Oh, maybe it was. But maybe it was. No, there's no way he's blundering a pawn. I must have missed out a move. Knight 5, b6, knight b3. Maybe he's castled already. Oh yeah, I've definitely missed out two moves. f3 and castles. At some point, f3 and castles was played. It must have been before rook c8. But rook c8 was all the way back here. I don't understand. Maybe I missed out two moves. Maybe he didn't play b6 yet. I think he somehow played like this. Ah, he played rook a8 and f3. Okay. This is what happened. This is what happened. And then after f3, only now did b6 come. That makes more sense. But then this pawn is hanging. Surely I didn't blunder a pawn. There's no way I missed this. You know what? I really don't know. Maybe it was b6 now, knight b3, and then rook a8. Okay. This is probably what happened. So rook a8 was played. I'm looking on my score sheet for rook a8, and obviously it's not there because that's the move I missed out. Let's just assume something like this happened. I know it wasn't quite like this, but I want to get a little bit further. So knight c4 was played, and yeah, I was really happy with my decision to give up the bishop, but basically play this position out. And I think a lot of players would be scared to play this, right? Like, how are you guys supposed to grind? You have equal material, the position is so closed, how are you going to grind? But the point is, I do have grinding potential, right? This pawn is very weak. So I've got this one weakness right now, right? So I can start working there. I think it's a fine opening. I had a discussion with this with my mentor, and we came to the conclusion that you get unique positions without losing advantage. Underrated. Thank you, Faz. Appreciate the support for C3 Venom. Yeah, and actually, guys, you know what? Just because I'm feeling very cheeky, I will show a teaser of what the new logo looks like. I've also been given a proper Chessable profile. I don't know what to think about this profile pic, but I guess it's alright. It looks like I'm on an adventure, so I guess it's alright. And the Chessable profile pic, it might change very slightly, but it's probably not going to change by much. But look at this. How sweet is this? Whoa. 1 C3 Venom in big letters, and we are going down the spider path of venomous spiders. And yeah, this is the plan. So we are going to be entering the spider's lair, and yeah, this is probably gonna be it. So 9 days to go. We now have a thumbnail for C3 Venom, and yeah, that's very hype. But yeah, let's get back to the game. So b5. King f2 was what I played. What do you guys think of the profile? Quite stylish, yes. I agree. I think it's pretty badass. That's how I would describe it. Yeah, I was very proud of my move here. Oh, Engine doesn't like it at all. So maybe this is a point. I wanted to play b3. I was very happy with this decision because I wasn't so happy with the knight establishing itself on a4. Like, really, I can play rook a5 and allow this? Oh, knight c4. Oh my days. That's so cool. Knight c4, wow, I did not consider this. Wow. Wow, so he can never play this, really. I could also play rook a2. Oh, if I could play rook a2, this is what I wanted, but I just thought he was going to be able to play knight a4. Okay, that's a really good tactic to see. And this is why it's very important you analyze your games, right? Because if you don't analyze your games, then you don't see these tactics, and then next time you get these positions, you don't find the move, because you couldn't find the move before, right? It's going to cost £100. I have no idea how much it's going to cost. Arav is going to buy it with his mum's card? Oh dear. Make a course on my theory of Jobava London and call it Knight C3 Venom. Honestly. Probably has some potential. Okay, you saw this Knight C4, Faz. That's impressive. Nice. So yeah, let's keep going. So I played B3. I was very happy with this move. And he played a really odd move here. He went knight C4. No, he went knight A4. So I just defended my pawn. But I really didn't agree with this because now he basically reroutes the c4. He literally is wasting his time. Like, he literally could have played this instantly. And I feel like black should be making improvements on the king side, right? With g5. This is like correct endgame pawn play, right? With g5. But he just didn't. He just wasted time with knight b2. Right? So I played well, okay, he's trying to go for the fork, right? Like, bruh, I'm gonna see this, right? So king e2 is what I played. And he went knight c4. And you can see how the position just turns, right? It's just like, these positions are not easy at all. And, oh, there's something wrong here. The king is... the king was on c7 at some point. Oh, the king was on c7 at some point. Man, I actually don't know. Yeah, I've missed out so many moves in this game. I've literally this was the position. This was the position, guys. So this was the position. I made some useful advances, and we get this position. Oh, now I play f4. I don't know what I'm missing. I don't remember what I played. It's literally a position like this. It's literally a position like this. Maybe my king is somewhere else. Maybe my king is on d3 or something. It's not on d3. I don't even know. I don't even know. Let's... Okay, let's... You know what? Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Let's say I played the move... how do I even lose the tempo here? Oh, wait. Okay, I'm sorry this is so botched. I didn't mean it to be so botched. Okay, let's do this. Okay, and white's turn to move here. Did I... Okay, wait. Black's turn to move. Black's turn to move. Yeah, so he played king b6. Oh no, I've got a rook. I literally did have the tempo right. I've got rook on a1. Rook on a1. So this was the position we reached, right? This was the position we reached. And you might still wonder how do you grind this, right? How do you make progress here? He played king b6. And then here, knight c5 is the move. Why did I not like knight c5? I think I was scared of a5. I played knight a5. This was my solution. Knight c5 if a5, b takes. What if rook takes? Knight d7. And if king c7, rook a5, rook a5. Rook a5, knight a5, and what? I have a super duper move here. Knight e5. Oh, let's go. So actually, this pawn structure is weak to a knight. Okay, I didn't appreciate this actually. This pawn structure is actually weak to this knight. That's very interesting. Did any of you know this? This knight e5? Yeah, waste the tempo of your rook to get to the position. That's what I was trying to do. 60% win rate with Jobava London is crazy, yeah. I mean, like, the Jobava London players are going to hate my c3 Venom course. But I rate the c3 London so much. So, okay, let's see this. So, knight a5, knight takes, rook takes. And basically here, my opponent played rook h8. I played king d3. I now missed out a move. No, I didn't. He played rook h4. And I played rook f1. Rook... I don't even know. What did he play? Rook e7. Did he... Yeah, maybe he played this rook e7. I don't know what rook e7 is doing. And then I played c4. B takes, king takes. And then he went rook h5. I kept the rook on. No, I didn't. I played rook fa1 because I realized that actually if he trades rooks, I think it's bad because I take with the pawn, right? And he doesn't have a good way to go. If he goes king c7, I come this way. And if he goes king a7, then I can go king c5. Right, this is what I calculated. So I realized he can't take. So we went rook h5. Rook fa1. No, he didn't play this. He played... Sorry, he played this. He played rook a7, and then I went rook a3. And this is where I stopped notating. I went down to 5 minutes at this point. So again, maybe I've made some like inaccuracies, right? I've missed some ideas. Okay, well done, Sapsara, for finding the knight hop. This is good. Yeah, I mean, I'm notating in rapid as well, so this is sad. But yeah, how did I grind this? So he played rook f4, rook h4. I played rook f3, and basically at some point, I think like I played some waiting moves here, right? Just to toy with him a bit. I think I did maybe something like this, and then I played g4 here. And here he made an inaccuracy. He played rook b5, which I think is a really terrible move. The rook is really limited here. And then I just went back or something. And then what did I play? I played h4 here, and then he blundered and resigned immediately. He played this and just allowed me to play rook a6 and resigned. So he blundered. But at the same time, I think I've really got to squeeze here. Like if he plays rook a7, I think this is really squeezable. And interesting that rook a5 is playable, and because I didn't want to take. I didn't necessarily want to take this. But I was thinking of maybe trying to play rook f2 or rook g2. This was my thinking here. But I think this is definitely grindable. I think this is very, very difficult for white to black to not lose this. I feel like the structure is somewhat weak, and we can try and grind it. But how? Maybe the rook on g2. What if they try and sit? So yeah, this was one question I was thinking, like, do they have a chance to open up? And yeah, this is the thing, because I don't have this tactic, and in some of the positions I had this tactic to, he can't take because of this, right? But here he can take with check, right? So this is the problem. So if I have to exchange everything, then it's probably not so good, because the rook gets active, right? So I need to find a way to avoid this a5 move and be able to play with my rook. And I think the problem, so maybe if I start with rook a4. So let's say I start with rook a4 to defend this pawn. And maybe now I move my king away, right? If I move my king away, can he play a5? He can't play a5. He has to play very, very aggressively with f5. Which is surprising to me that it's working, because I always thought this f5 I can take once. Oh. Let me try and understand this. If I take once and he takes and play e5, I thought this was really good pressure. Really, really good pressure. g6 and I go like this. Okay, and he can get counterplay of rook d8, right, and he's just in time to get enough counterplay. Just in time. Maybe even, wow, okay, he can even try and take over here. This is very difficult chess. This is very difficult chess. And I mean, like, chances are, like, the guy is going to repeat. Oh, and wow, actually already in this position I can already play with f5 here. No, I can't. That's so confusing to me. So king d3. If rook a7, because I saw it wanted me to go back to c4. Oh, is Ben playing f5? Sorry, I was reading this wrong. So in this position, can I still not move my rook and try and play for f5? If he sits, then I think, oh, it wants my, what plan does it want? I don't understand what the plan is if I sit. So it wants me basically just to go back. What is the point? It wants me to play this rook a5 eventually. But what is the progress here? Ah, rook h5 and h5, right. And actually, this is very principled, right? Whenever you've got these pawns and you've got a majority, you want to push the majority. Wow, rook a5 and h5. That's a very cool plan. And you open it up this way, and that way you don't have to play e5 ever and make this a target. Oh, that's so smart. That's so smart. This is a squeeze. Faz, do you change your mind now? This is definitely a squeeze. Okay. I mean, yeah, no, you disagree with my terminology of saying I squeezed the position when he just blundered, right? That's true. He didn't let me squeeze. In the other game, though, he definitely let me squeeze. In the other game, that was like, I really squeezed him well. But this game, I've also squeezed him in a way. Like he's really under pressure here. Like, okay, he can try and just sit, but I do have a way. Would I have found it in the game? I'm not so sure. But rook h5 and h5, okay, this is actually very logical. Really nice plan. So actually, this is the way to play against this, right? And this is why it's so important to analyze. Like, now we analyze this. I'm going to get this position again, because the number of players who make this opening mistake, right? We get this symmetrical position, and I just get this structure. So now I know I can get this endgame, and I can eventually play for this h5 break. So I think this analysis is really important. Yeah, and now I think there's great potential here. So okay, let's say they play f6, trying to hold like this. I also don't know if I can get away with this kind of stuff. And play with like king c5, yeah. I was always looking at these kind of ideas. And trying to evaluate like what's stronger, the pawns or the king. But here, yeah, we can get our own passed pawn, right? So this is very promising. Just winning, in fact, right? So that means we actually have this flexibility. Now black is two weaknesses, right? This is like your typical endgame analysis. I think analyzing deep rook endgame in a rapid game is kind of useless. I disagree, completely disagree, because it's not about like the fact that it was the time control. This could be a bullet game for all I care. The fact is that we got this position, and it's a common kind of pawn structure from the opening that I played, and it's important to understand how to convert it. So to actually see this like this motif of pushing for h5 and using rook a5 to defend laterally like this, I think is very important. He who analyzes blitz is stupid. I completely disagree. I mean, compared to analyzing your classical games where you've really put extra thought into the position, sure. But okay, I'm not playing a classical game. Like, I don't have the opportunity to play a classical game. So you got to analyze what you can. And if you're just gonna not analyze and just, scroll Instagram for like an hour, it's better to analyze, right? So I think this is really worthwhile. I really disagree with. No. Okay, let me clarify. Okay, that quote from Nesmedinov is clearly taken out of context, and I can prove this, right? Because Nesmedinov was playing chess in a time when there were no online engines, there was no internet, there was no online, right? So when you analyze blitz, what he's talking about is when you play a blitz game at a club, and then you start analyzing the blitz game afterwards and just argue about the position. Of course, these blitz games at the club is completely pointless because it's like, you're arguing if the knight was on this square or that square, and you're just like, wasting time, right? But that's a waste of time. This is a completely different matter, right? So definitely don't take that quote out of context, otherwise it's just going to be unhelpful. Yeah? Like, it's a completely different matter. Yeah, so yeah, I think this h5 is very instructive. We play against g7, play against this a6, and yeah, look at all these weaknesses. Like, what a dream position, what a dream game, right? And you're not gonna get this when and to answer your question, Frizz, what is the difference? My opponent's not gonna play like just copycat. I don't think he's probably gonna be in the mindset that, oh yeah, he's playing like this I don't know, this d4, and he'll probably try and like steer it more into his prep, or maybe he'll even play knight f6, right? Maybe he'll even have his own preparation against d4. But because I play c3, it's almost triggering the opponent to take claim of the center, right? So it's very tempting to see c3 as like a garbage move. And I to be honest, I even have opponents online who sometimes play f6 because they think I'm trolling, and then they realize that actually like I'm just completely better. And they're like, whoops, I'm just playing some horrendous position. So Nesmedinov shouldn't have been doom scrolling. Exactly. Predict your online blitz rating by Friday. Fine, Sapsara. Let's check out. Let's see this. 2150. Okay, by Friday, I'm gonna predict you'll reach a high of 2190, and then by Friday, you're going to be 2130. That is my prediction. So prove me wrong. Sapsara. Okay, cool. So on that note, guys, okay, I actually wanted to stream less than 43 minutes, but here we are. Chess analysis takes time, and okay, like, I feel like I gained some stuff. Like, we learned that little tactic. That was very nice. That was very sweet. And okay, I kind of messed up the middle game moves a bit, so not so worth analyzing that position. But yeah, this final structure, yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so 2000 opponent taken down. 1 C3 Venom for the win. And yeah, big things to come, guys. 9 days to go. I'm actually like seeing the thumbnail get published today. Like it's kind of like hits me that, you know, the course is gonna be public, and we're just gonna have to make it do great, right? We're just gonna have to, yeah, try and do everything we can to promote it. And yeah, I don't know if you guys have any ideas of how to advertise it and market it. Like definitely keep me posted. But yeah, on that note, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna do a big woodpecker stream tomorrow because I'm really behind. I've got a lot to do. Probably not gonna get it done, but you know, we'll see. Yeah, on that note, guys, adios.